Hey, what's going on, guys? Ron here, aka Neos, and as you can see by the title, I want to bring you out a deck profile today. Mitsurugi Ryzeal. I've been playing this deck for a very long time. I'm kind of late to the show, revealing obviously like what I've been playing, how I've been playing it, stuff like that. But I've just been very busy getting ready for like regionals, the upcoming YCS that I'm about to go to. That I've just been so focused on like playtesting, going to locals, stuff like that. That I just haven't had the chance, but now I finally have time. I want to show this because I've been consistently topping at locals, giving the best decks in the format, including Bestial, Malice, Pure Malice, Fiendsmith, Ryzeal Fiendsmith, Pure Ryzeal, um, and even Blue Eyes, an absolute run for their money. And if not running them for their money, just blowing them out of the game entirely. This deck has been performing for me absolutely amazingly, and I think this is the best deck in the format right now, simply because of how versatile it is and how resilient it is, both in recursion and being able to interact with your opponent not only during your turn but during their turn. But yeah, without further ado, let's go ahead and get to the deck profile. Starting off with the first engine is obviously the Ryzeals. We have the 3 Bonfire, we have 3 Ice, 3 EXT, 2 Sword, 1 Node, and then 1 Cross. I've been on 2 Swords since literally the beginning, like since the sneak peek for this set. Uh, I don't know why people were playing 1. There's a lot of times that like 2 come up in a combo where you special like 1 off of ice and then you can search another one and then special it again off a hand to get an extra body, which inherit like will get you to, like an extra XYZ monster because like you already had the node, so you don't have to use the node to make it and lose it out. Absolutely insane. If there was another card I wish I could play, it would be Plugin. Plugin's an absolutely insane card. Just I don't have room for more bricks. Playing this as a brick. This is obviously a brick. And then I don't really treat the Mitsurugi stuff as bricks because they're all 2 card combos, assuming they're paired properly for the most part. Like prayers plus any of the Mitsurugi stuff is good unless it's Kusanagi. Um, and then ritual spell plus ritual monster obviously is crazy. So yeah, that's enough said about that. Speaking obviously of the Mitsurugi stuff, for the engine, maybe a little unorthodox, but I am playing 3 Saji. Um, like I said, 2 card combo, especially with prayers, absolutely insane. The 1 Kusanagi because recursion is very good. The 2 Ameno, I'm trying to pick up my second QCR. This card is absolutely beautiful in QCR and just can't seem to find it. Um, the 1 Futsu, because again, recursion is absolutely insane. Um, the 3 of the rituals spell, 3 of the prayers, and I'm actually main decking the trap. This is just the icing on the cake. Like whenever you're able to build your board and then slap this on top of it, it's just it. This can be the difference between like your opponent like maybe being able to out your board to be your opponent like having to have the best case scenario hand in order to at least try. Because this can trigger not only your effect to obviously Omni negate, but you also have it being able to trigger this if you can manage to sequence it. That you can also just blow up the rest of their monsters off their board in addition to whatever they tried to do. It's absolutely insane, and it's just it creates like a serious mind game. Also, like being able to like force your opponent to discard or like get their effect negated is just also absolutely insane. Being because it creates a level of interaction not only on their turn but on your turn as well. So when you're playing and your opponent's trying to interrupt you, interact with you, you can punish them for it, and I think that's absolutely broken. Um, Moving on, we have the non-engine. We're playing 15, 3 Ash, 2 Droll, 2 Nib, 3 Bestials actually, which I'll explain a little bit more about them here in a second. Specifically, we were playing Magnemite Druis and the Baldrake. I chose not to play 2 Druis, specifically for Baldrake because he can tribute the Light or the Dark monsters, and that can obviously trigger your Mitsurugis. Um, we have the 3 Infinite Impermanence, and then also we have 1 Triple Tactics Thrust, and then 1 Triple Tactics Talent. These are my 42nd and 43rd cards to add to the deck after building it. And these two cards are absolutely insane. I don't know why people aren't playing these, especially when we're in such a hand trap heavy format, as so people like to point out so often. And then also going into boards whenever like you inevitably have to go second, because you'll either lose a dice roll or Tempai is gonna be like, all right, bro, I won the dice roll, you go first, and you're just gonna go, yikes. This is so good, so good. And I've chosen to play instead not two of these in the main, but play one and one instead. Because now when you draw both of these in tandem, if they trigger, especially like if your opponent ashes you like during the main phase or something, they they make both of these live, and that means you get to. I can either like set like there's been times I've set like Great Purification off of this because I already have the Mitsurugi stuff, and it's like I had like my opponent troll me, and I was like, all right, cool, that sucks. Anyways, I'll just go ahead and set an Omni Negate, by the way, and then pass turn on top of like a detonator, plus like Omino, um, and then we also have this because like there's been so many times like people like I said troll me or whatever, and then like I'll be able to do this, and then like all right, let me see what you had in hand, by the way, and then just rip the cards out of their hand that are important, just absolutely insane. And then like I said with the Bestials, specifically the Baldrake being able to tribute any of your lights, any of your darks, or lights to banish your opponent's special summon monsters from the extra deck or like rituals. So good because you just tribute like the babies, or you tribute like like one of the rituals, and you just you trigger not only like you remove a monster from their board, but you also get follow up, and then you can choose to Raigeki their board on top of that. It makes Baldrake like a 3-part interruption, because not only is he a body that he also can banish a card, trigger follow up, and then also like if you trigger Amino, right, you can Raigeki their board. It's technically a 4-part. This card can be a 4-part interruption on top of your board if he's in your hand, or if you put him on the board. It's absolutely crazy. But yeah, I wouldn't really play any more of this. If I had more room, I would play like another Droll, because Droll is absolutely great this format. Just preventing your opponent from obviously adding cards from their deck to their hand. It's just it's a really good shut off for any of like especially rogue decks, because I really don't want to give rogue a chance. Playing against Blue Eyes, like I said, another deck that I just gave an absolute like run for their money in the format. You droll them, they just explode. They just look at their hand, they just like tap fingers, and then they pass to you usually. Like maybe they'll set up one of the synchros and like True Light maybe if they're lucky, and then they'll just pass turn to you. Onto the extra deck. We're playing the 1 Duo Drive. We have 2 Detonator, 2 Eclipse Twins, 1 King of the Feral Imps, 1 Baguska, 1 Emerald. I'll explain a little bit more about him later. 1 Exciton, because whatever you had on your board needs to go bye-bye. 1 Dugars for the pure Ryzeal combo, 1 Dweller, 1 Mirological, 1 Superstar Slayer Typhon, 1 Chaos Angel, and then the extra sauce that kind of like brings these 2 tandem decks together, 1 Reptilian Echidna. There's been so many times I've made this with a Bestial plus like like a light Ryzeal, and it just, my opponent can't do anything about it, and like you just sit on this, and then you just clear like individual bodies with it, and it also protects like your babies from destruction and stuff like that, or even like the like I've had like a Ritual Beast player, like he put my Amino in defense and then forgot this was on the board and like try to crash over it, and I was just like, all right, cool, and he was like, that doesn't die, and I was like, battle protection, and he's like, oh no. So yeah, like I said, this card is just super sacky. This being able to make one of my opponent's monsters 0 is super funny. I've done this so many times, usually on follow-up turns, because like you just link her off, and there's so many people that go, what the heck is that? And then they look at it, they read it, and they're like, what the heck? That's busted. And then I'm like, yeah, I know. And then I'm like, hey, I'm going to make this monster 0. And like and they're like, all right, cool. I'm like, all right, I'm gonna search, and they're like, all right, cool. And then like I search like whatever other like rich reptile monster that I need, and then I'm like, all right, I'm gonna go battle phase, and that monster that I made 0, I'm just gonna crash over it for 200, and kill it. And it's just, this card's so good. Um, and you don't really like care if it like leaves the field or anything like that. This thing's so good. And like I said, it's better than the Lizardos, because the Lizardos just draws you a random card. This ensures that you see a specific engine part, which I think is just absolutely invaluable. So yeah, I wouldn't change that. On the same thing of that, the Emerald here, I usually like 9 times out of 10 use him to shuffle back Mitsurugi stuff back into the deck, just to draw a card, and then yeah, like he's just another layer of recursion, especially when cross get rid of, like my opponent gets rid of cross inevitably. This is just so good because I just, like I said, I just make this, I shuffle back 3 Ryzeals and then draw a card, which I would argue this is better than cross in terms of recursion, because it's shuffling back 3. So like this is just so good. I love this card. None of these really need another explanation. I still play Baguska because soft locking my opponent whenever I do like a pure Ryzeal combo, if I have to, is just too good. Especially in like the middle, like grindier matchups when like we're like trying to top deck and I'm able to make this and just screw my opponent out of being able to win the game because this is on the field. But yeah, and I also play only one of the imps because if you're sequencing properly, you should be able to always bring back your either you can bring it back with the prayers, or like Eclipse Twins, or you can you should be able to bring back your reptiles with the prayers. So like as long as you're sequencing properly, which I usually do, I've never had an issue with needing the second one ever. The side deck, I think could be touched up a little bit, but it's been doing me very good. The one plugin just for like the matchups where Ryzeals just like I need it, or like they're banishing random Ryzeals, like my one duo drive. I'll put this in just like they banish it, and I'm just like, all right, cool, bro, bring it back, add a material, trigger its effect on summon to attach, detach to, draw, Pot of Greed, and they're just like, yep. 2, Book of Eclipse. I had slot for 2, so I was like, what's a pretty good Saki card that's good for first or second? This was the answer. It's been really good. Also, it's really funny whenever you do like book your opponents, like if I choose to like play this going against like pure Ryzeal, I'll wait for them to like make the 2 bodies. I'll book their stuff, and then they'll summon the 3rd one, and then I'll like Purifications negate and destroy the 3rd summoned Ryzeal monster, and then I'll tribute the Amino bring back, pop the 2 that are in defense, and then they don't get draws off of it either, and they lost all of their engine unless they have an extender, which is absolutely crazy. 3, Lancia, because if Malice goes first and plays, then I don't get to play because they're just going to lock me out of the game. 3, going first, Solemn Strike. I play this over Solemn Judgment because this life points paying 800 with prayers is a thing. It happens a lot. And cutting my life points in half once or twice is crazy. Like I can do this 3 times and then still be able to activate prayers like 5 or 6 times and not have to worry about my life points. And then the other 3 cards is Fua, because I don't want to play this in the main. I'd rather play other decks that or other cards that I know, no matter if I go first or second, will have an impact. So like when I know I'm going into like going second, like I'll just side this in, just so I can draw cards and see like whatever other things I've either sided in or sided out, or obviously like I treat this deck as a 2-card combo deck to combo. So I also want to show off a combo that I do sometimes. It's absolutely crazy, which is it's the 2-card Saji plus Prayers combo. So this also works with any of the ritual monsters, but I specifically like Saji because it's just this combo is it's full combo for both of your engines. So we're gonna put 3 impermanent in hand here. These are gonna be my other 3 cards, whatever they are, and then like obviously I'm gonna pretend I'm gonna go first. This also plays around Droll very, 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 very well, because you can do it during draw phase. So basically, what you do is you go draw phase, you go effect, you tribute this, and then you can go effect to apply both in sequence, add a Mitsurugi monster from your deck to your hand, and then take 800 damage and special summon one from deck or hand or grave. So here you actually add the Kusanagi to hand, and then you will special Saji here, and then this will go to grave. And then on trigger of resolution, you'll go trigger effective Saji. He's actually gonna search you the ritual spell to hand. Okay. And then here, you'll actually go normal summon this, right? So we have this in hand. We'll trigger Kusanagi effect to actually add the prayers back to hand. So we're at 5 cards, and we have 2 monsters on the board, and we have 2 level 4s, and I'm pretty sure you know what happens now. We just go ahead and overlay these 2 for duo drive. You overlay these 2 for duo drive, and then you can go detach to search, and then you will search here. So you actually search sword, and you search cross. You don't search EXT here because EXT will get you to sword, and sword will get you to ice, and you've already normal summoned. You don't want to do that. Sword will get you to EXT. EXT will get you to node here in this combo. So this is a lot better. And it gives you an extra body going through that. So right now we're at 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. We have 7 cards in hand. And like I said, this is from a 2-card combo. So we activate this, and then we go special effect, and then we're gonna go ahead and search from deck to hand the Ryzeal EXT, and then here we special this, and we're gonna dump, of course, to the graveyard a copy of the Eclipse Winds. Here's the first chance your opponent has to nib you. If they do nib you here, you have you'll have the node in hand. So here you'll just go, you'll add the node. Your opponent will nib you, and then you'll be able to just make the node dump one of the cards that you have in hand, one of the extras, and then you can still make detonator and pass on it with the cross. So and that'll put the Eclipse Twins in grave, and then you'll have Eclipse Twins live because duo will be in the graveyard, because you'll have another 2 bodies that you'll be able to shuffle off across and draw a card. So like even if your opponent nibs you here, which is the most optimal point, it's terrible for them. Like it's absolutely terrible. But here we're gonna go ahead and overlay these 2. So you can do one of 2 things here. You can either you can make detonator here and like attach, and then like that kind of will end your turn. Or to extend your play here, to keep going, you actually make King of the Feral Imps. And then here you go imps. Imps, you go detach to put the specifically the sword in the graveyard, because this plays around bestials. And also it's just you always, because it's only the 2 of, so you want to keep putting it in the grave to keep using it. And then here you're gonna search the Futsu. I always search Futsu here because if they would have ashed me, they would have already ashed me here. And then this prevents them from interacting, by adding this, it prevents them from interacting with my Amino, because I'm going to special it from the deck. So, yeah, here we'll go Mitsurugi Prayers. I'll go effect to Ritual Summon by attributing from the deck. You'll actually special this, Mitsurugi Ritual. And then for tributing from the deck, you will actually tribute one of the Amino here. This is so you can add, because you've already gone through Saji and Kusanagi here, to continue your play. You'll go effect of the Amino. This will allow you to actually search another ritual spell. And then you can activate it again to special from the deck. And then you can actually do this, send this, and then here you'll trigger the effect of the Futsu to special back, and then it'll actually add you the Great Purification to hand. And like I said, so then now you have this here. And then here is where you will special the node. And then you will go node effect, target the sword by dumping these 2. you will put this into the grave. And then you will special the sword, and then you can overlay these two for a copy of your Ryzeal detonator. And then this will trigger detonator on summon to attach the Eclipse Twin. Here, if you would like to instead, you can send Duo Drive, because that will put another, because you have EXT here in the grave already, that will put your second Ryzeal in the grave, and then you will be able to draw off a cross, but it will kill your Eclipse Twins. With this, you will have King of the Feral Imps in the graveyard that whenever your detonator leaves the field, if it goes to the graveyard, that it will be able to trigger the Eclipse Twins. And then like here, like I said, you'll have these 2 cards in hand that you will be able to set. And then like I said, you'll have whatever other 3 cards that you already had in hand. And this is the board that you'll pass on. So you have your 3 pops plus the revive, your monster negate, your omni force to discard, other omni negate for actually like anything. This is just good to have. I like this as an additional part of the board because this I can choose whenever I want to tribute this, or like if I go like affected this and tribute, and my opponent, like I've had my opponents try to call by this on its effect to summon, and I just go, all right, cool, bro, chain to pay 800 in special, and they can't do anything about it because they already targeted it, and it just comes back anyways. It's very, very, very good. This is like insurance is what I like to call it, and it also can trigger to force like follow up as well if you need it. Futsu obviously great to have because it can special back your reptiles, so you can just special these back here, and then obviously these will trigger on special summon, and then if either one of these would be destroyed by battle or card effect, you can tribute these instead. But yeah, like I said, this would be the board that you would end on, and just like I said, going into this board is really, 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 really hard. Also, if you've noticed, I've left like this slot open, and I've put this here. This is for the combo specifically because you need the room. You have to use the extra monster zone. But also this plays around specifically the closed moon. Closed moon, her arrows point down and this way, from my point of view, if my opponent were to play it. And then she can has the effect that she can target one arrow with one of the arrows she points to and link it off. So like they can use like if like I had this here, they could go like effect of the moon, target this, send this, and like contact another one of these to make like Underworld Goddess. And like I'm not about to play into that, and that because I've seen it happen and I'm not about it. But like I said, like this is the board that you end on, and it's just so good. Like I said, it's so hard to play into. It has literally everything that you can possibly need. And like with the single like thing of detonator, you make the cross live for next turn, to draw a card, to like put more stuff into your hand. You have this to put stuff into your hand. This will put stuff into your hand. This will put stuff into your hand by specialing the babies. This will be able to add you, like, if you use this and, like, during the draw phase the next turn, you can do this to special, like, if they cleared one of these, to bring it back and then tribute one of the others, or, you know, tribute just, like, the duo drive that's not doing anything, if you need to put it in the grave, and then you can put it back and then draw off across, and then you bring it back again and then add another 2. Like, there's a lot of, like, synergy here that like people like kind of like don't really know, and it's just like I said, it's absolutely insane. So I would highly recommend playing this deck if you haven't already, or if you're sleeping on this deck, do not. This deck is absolutely insane and will blindside you. People are like, oh, it breaks. It's because people are playing it like focusing on the Ryzeal stuff too much when they should be focusing on like a healthy meshing of like the families of both engines, which is the way I've been treating this deck, and it's done nothing but wonders for me. But otherwise, guys, I really don't have anything else. Thanks for watching. Like, comment, subscribe, all that good stuff. And I'll catch you on the next one. Peace.